Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, don't hurt me no more. What is love?
Yeah.
When we first started making this documentary, Mr. Dawsari said we could only make it if he was dead. It's pretty ironic.
You know, Mr. Dawsari, he had a very strong personality, you know, and because of that, I feel like he really made an impact, you know, on my life. Yeah, I feel like, especially, you know, when it came to first impressions, you know, he really had a way to sort of make himself sort of resonate with people. I feel like, you know, most people have a good first impression story of Mr. Dawsari.
When you first met Mr. Dawsari, can you please describe that, like your first impressions?
Honestly, the first time I met Mr. Dawsari, I can't remember that that moment when I met him, but I do remember a smile. And as I got to work with him and get to know him better, that smile is just there.
When I first met Mr. Dawsari, I thought, wow, he's showing Terminator in a job interview. True story.
I always liked this one story he told in our history class. He said that he was driving one day with his girlfriend and he spun out and he had a Wendy's cup of chili, and his girlfriend got really scared once they finally crashed because the chili went all over his face and she thought he was dead. And it was a great story. It told us about life, told us about mortality. I missed that class.
You think Jamil Dawsari, then what else do you think?
I think of three things when I think of Jamil. I think of Fluvog wingtips. I think of a voice that carries across a quad, and I think of whistling as he walks down the hallway to signal to everybody that the dad jokes have arrived.
Yeah, Mr. Dawsari, he was a very, you know, feisty man, very, very sassy man. You know, he could be loud when he wanted to, you know, really make himself heard.
Why?
They're being annoying.
So you're gonna pepper spray someone in the eyes for them being annoying? Why aren't your eyes always running?
Yeah, I think I actually lost a little hearing from that class, you know, from how loud he could talk sometimes.
He's kind of loud. I'm not sure if you guys knew that about him, but he was very, loud. He projects well. Or projected, I should say.
I think Mr. Dawsari and I really connected, not only as student to teacher, but person to person, you know? We're both really nerdy, we're into geek stuff, like video games. Him designing games is kind of cool. We always talked about video games. He was also in the plays with me, so he liked acting and theater, as well as like movies. He's just a really knowledgeable pop culture person, which I found very interesting for a teacher.
Well, he always embraced the nerd culture. He loved sci-fi. He loved video games. His students were always so amazed to learn that he worked on video games and specific games. One even made a point to seek out where he appeared in a game. That's pretty nerdy.
You see, Mr. Dawsari was a great teacher. Not only because he had great lesson plans, but also because he had a great sense of fashion, you know? He'd always wear a crisp white shirt, a nice tie, some nice slacks, you know. He had good shoe style. He was a great man.
He always wore a tie, even to the beach.
Even at the beach?
So I saw Mr. Dawsari in jeans and a t-shirt. Really took me by surprise. And then I even saw him in his swim trunks. So in case you never knew that about Mr. Dawsari, he does have clothes beyond just suits and ties, or did anyway.
Can you please describe the swim trunks?
I wish I remember details about the swim trunks, but maybe they were like floral or Hawaiian, perhaps?
there are so many aspects of Mr. Dawsari. I mean, we can only talk about a few, like his sense of fashion, his style of teaching, the vigor inside of him. But talking about it and actually hearing his voice are two very different things. To know Mr. Dawsari is to see him standing there in front of you and for him to make you smile just by simply being himself. And knowing that we won't be able to see him anymore, that's it's sad. And I think it'll leave a hole in all of us. I'll miss you, buddy. I love you. And this has been One in Jamillion. Sincerely, Alex Garcia, Cody Evans, and Jay Jolin.
Thank you.